Deputy Speaker, and it's a pleasure to follow my honourable friend who represents a constituency where many businesses will have to wrestle with some of the implications of the bill as it passes through and becomes law. I'd like to congratulate my right honourable friend, the Secretary of State, and my friend, the Minister, for their preparation of this bill, which I think over the last couple of years a lot of good time has been put in and good evidence has been presented to prepare this bill for a debate today, and it will be my pleasure to support it. It's easier and correct that we should look at this as a national security measure and not so much as an investment measure. I think we're going to have to deal with the investment implications, but it's important that we get the national security measures right. And there's been lots of conversations today about the requirements of this bill, although I have to say to my honourable friends on this side and the other side that the evidence of examples historically has not been quite as strong as some of the measures that are here. In many cases, it is a precautionary bill than one necessarily that is driven by the evidence historically. So I don't think we want to be too critical of what we've been doing over the last 10 or 15 years. As many members have said, this is bringing something up to date. We deal with the things we think might be coming over the next 10 or 20 years. And in that regard, I would say to my honourable friend, I can see now why he has had to thread a needle of trying to land this quite precisely. Many of the voices on all sides have been asking him to extend the bill. Indeed, this bill has the potential to be quite an expansive octopus in the pressures that it may put on the government to extend the bill. I've heard about having a wider national interest test. We've heard about including more sectors than the 17 sectors that we already have. We've talked about a definition of the national interest portrayed to the Minister as something that might restrict, but as he well knows, the more precise a definition, the broader that can be in terms of how it's interpreted for others. And there have been many cautionary comments from others about the extension of this into a national industrial strategy for the country. That is not the purpose of this bill. And the right honourable member, who is not in his place, the opposition spokesperson, I think really did misjudge this bill, Madam Deputy Speaker, in saying that this is something we need to adorn it with. I think that would actually be completely inappropriate and take away from some of the scrutiny that I hope honourable members will take on this bill as we go through committee. Very briefly, I would say to the Minister, please be aware and listen to the potential for unintended consequences. We've heard a lot about the decision on Huawei, but he'll be aware that there are the potential for retaliatory measures by us. Please look at the unintended consequences of innovation in some of the sectors that may be affected. And in that regard, I would just point honourable members to my register of interest as an advisor to a technology company. And can we also feed from the government benches, this fits in a pattern of, as we are bringing forward more regulatory measures and as we take back regulatory powers from the European Union, there is this constant question that parliamentarians are raised about what is parliamentary oversight on those regulatory powers. And I think for the government bench it would be useful for them to look at that. But I would like to congratulate the Minister for presenting this bill and thank you very much for the opportunity to make some comments today.